Did you know that there is a yearly Swiss urban sketching symposium? Because I didn't, but as soon as I found out, I had to go. And in this video, I'm going to share a few of the highlights of the experience, the ups, the downs, the unpredictable highs, everything. In August, I went to the urban sketching symposium in Poland, and it was amazing, absolutely incredible. Artists from all over the world just sketching all over Poznan. I experienced it as someone who didn't have a ticket but went to the city alone anyway, with the intention of attending the free events, meeting artists, and just really making the most of the experience. From my observation, free or paid, it was amazing. And so I thought that I could do the same thing in Switzerland, but it was a completely different experience. And for this one, unless you're local, I would say that you really need to buy a ticket in order to make the most of the experience. And I had such an incredible time. I've actually made a whole separate video highlighting it for you, and I recommend that you check that out if you haven't already, especially if you love urban sketching, so that you don't miss the next one. An urban sketching symposium, put simply, is a big yearly meeting of urban sketchers, people who enjoy painting from life. And as part of it, there are demos, workshops, and just other activities that you need to get a ticket in order to attend, as well as some free events open to the public. But then there's also the smaller national ones like this one, the Swiss Symposium. My absolute favourite part were all at the end. It was everything from the workshops to the auction to just getting to spend time with some artists. And I have got some clips for you right at the end. And to start things off in a beautiful way, it started with not only like speeches and welcomes, but an art market. And obviously I love art supplies. It had watercolors, like my favorites, like Roman Schmall. It had books, sketchbooks, travel brushes, just a whole range of different art supplies catered and geared towards those who love urban sketching and painting outdoors. I did show some self-control. I only bought just a few art supplies. Let me know if you would like to see that separately in a video and I can share it with you. But to summarize, I would say that I got some of my favorite Roman Schmall colors and Roman Schmall colors that I was running out of. And then I also got a Clairefontaine sketchbook that I've been using for my gouache actually as my urban sketching low pressure sketchbook, which I'm halfway through. So that was also good.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now, there's something in the air, and a sparkly shimmer.
And then after some lovely speeches, it was time to dive straight into the workshops and the sketch walks. Unfortunately, my day took a turn and I went from being so happy to just having the worst time. Now, without getting into too much detail, I unfortunately got lost. I got drenched in the rain. My phone was water damaged and my shoes were so wet that I couldn't wear them for the rest of the trip. So I was in such a bad mood. And I feel like I have to share that so that you understand the context from which I was then recording and experiencing the rest of the symposium, because I genuinely considered going back to London that day. But I'm glad that I didn't, because it was just such a lovely experience in the end. And just as I'd given up and was planning on going back, I saw Santi through the window wearing a lanyard and I was like, oh my gosh, maybe there are urban sketchers in there. And thank goodness there were. And there I met Cherie and Mirella and so many other artists, and they were just so lovely, really like cheered me up and picked me up. And it was just so lovely to sit down and sketch and paint and laugh and dance and just have a good time. I was obviously, everywhere was beautiful, and I saw these glasses here and I was like, I'm just going to sketch them. I'm just going to sketch something nice and fun. Technically not urban sketching, I guess, but you know, the heart wants what the heart wants. And I really loved the painting, so I was glad that I did that. And then I did a proper urban sketch. And from there, we went to the drink and draw in the evening, which was so lovely. So many more sketches. This was open to the public as well, although I think that most of the people who were there had actually come for the symposium themselves. I can't even describe how inspiring it is to see all the different styles and all the different techniques and different artists that you meet when you come to events like this, and just how friendly and welcoming everyone is. Up until this point, this had been my favorite part of experiencing Symposium. Little did I know it was about to get even better the following days. So we come to day 2 and I was sick and walking around in flip-flops. Like, you honestly can't make this up. But I was at least happy to be in Switzerland, and I took it as an opportunity to go for a walk and try and find a workshop. I'd been given the opportunity to document some of this art retreat. So I was doing like stories on Instagram to really share some of the experiences that other people were having. And I managed to catch the end of Liz Steele's workshop, and it was so wonderful to see the art that everyone had created, with the focus being on focusing on shape first rather than line, as you know, we tend to do quite often when trying to be tighter. And it was really interesting to see how everybody had kind of interpreted it and the different things that they had taken as focus. As you can see, I did the exact opposite because I didn't know that was the problem. That was the aim of the workshop. And so I started with line first, and my focus was actually on shadows. And then in the afternoon, I attended Kelkar's workshop, and it was fantastic. Now, I have to admit, I'm the type of person who doesn't do tutorials, doesn't read the instructions before putting things together. I just dive in and learn as I go. That's always been my approach. I've never been one drawn to workshops or lessons or anything like that for that reason. But I could see it. I could understand why it's so valuable to do it, to learn somebody else's technique and perspective, to think about things in a different way. And then on top of that, is an excellent teacher. So she was using gouache, which I love, but she really got us to focus on the big shapes. And it was just very, very interesting to try and approach things in her way. And I really loved the results of my artwork as a result, and also just understanding how we can do things differently. And not only from seeing her approach to it, but seeing other people's approach to it as well, and kind of having those conversations. It was just a lot of fun. Like, I felt so inspired and so excited to really dive into painting with gouache more and more and more when urban sketching, because up until that point I was kind of trying to make myself paint with watercolor because it feels like it would be easier, but I just enjoy painting urban sketching with gouache more, and I kind of haven't really turned back since then. It's almost like Uma gave me permission to like stop trying to paint with watercolor if I don't want to paint with watercolor, and paint with gouache when I want to paint with gouache. Like, it was just really, really great. So the first few exercises that we did were looking at kind of the big block abstract shapes. Then we translated that into doing that, but with gouache. And also she had like great insights on tonal values and temperatures and changing temperatures. And then we took things a step further after creating that piece and actually added a color, almost like a mother color, to the entire painting that we'd done, and recreated it to give it a whole new effect. I hope what I'm saying makes sense, but I just highly recommend that if you're interested in gouache, in particular painting with gouache while on the go and while urban sketching, then you consider doing either Uma or someone else's workshop, because it's very much worthwhile. And then we come to day 3, which is oh my gosh, I think it's the final day. But so much happened today. It was so good in all the best ways. So started off by exploring Switzerland as usual, taking it as an opportunity to take lots of different pictures and references, and just really enjoy being there, enjoy the good weather. And then from there, I went to Maru Godas's workshop, which was again incredible, so incredible. And it's so funny because I feel like our art styles are obviously very different, but one of the things that I really enjoyed is that the way she's able to add people to her scenes, and also her playful use of colors in her art. Her art just seems so happy and so joyful, and that's something that I very much related to, and I kind of wanted to know how I could better approach adding people to my art when I actively almost always avoid doing that in all my art. And so I thought it'd be pretty fun, because it's completely different to what I'm used to doing. And Again, another phenomenal teacher, so much fun, so many lessons. And it was just, again, so great to see. Like, you can see we all got the same kind of activity to do, but we have all interpreted it completely differently. And as I look at everyone's artwork, I had more ideas and inspiration on how to approach it later myself. I love the little people that I created as well. And then from there, I slowly but surely have started adding people to my artwork, and not just the tiny ant people that were always there, but like actual big people. And even doing the exercise where we were just there sketching people as they walked towards us or away from us, just like doing it very quickly, was fantastic. It's something that took us maybe 10 minutes, but I feel like I learned so much in doing that, and it's something that you can so easily do when you're waiting at a bus stop or waiting in line, or just in your everyday life. And the more you practice, the better you get. Then from there, I went to not one but 2 Caran d'Ache stores. My hope was that the prices would be so low that I would be able to buy loads of luminance and newer colors. No, the prices were pretty much the same as they are in London. So it meant that I didn't actually end up buying anything from either store because I could wait basically until I finish my pencils back at home. So see, I exercise self-control. But I did look around to kind of see what was there, the neo arts, the neo colors, the luminance pencils. There were also some like fancier art supplies like this pen and like bags and everything. So it was really nice to just look through and search for a deal. Even though I didn't find one this time, it was really lovely to look through the Caran d'Ache store nonetheless. And that was with 2 Italian friends that I made. And from there, I went to the final drink and draw, which was out by the river, beautiful views. And I decided to paint the bridge in watercolor. And then with like 5 minutes left, I decided to try and paint with gouache and almost missed the big group photo, like very, very nearly. But I didn't. I made it right at the end. Let's see if you can see me. When it's all said and done, I had such a wonderful time, and I'm so glad that I went. And not only that, I got a completely different experience because I got to go to some of the workshops, and I get it. They are so incredible and you learn so much. You end up feeling so inspired, and it was a completely different experience to what I'd had in Poznan. Both good, but just different, and something that is so beneficial irrespective of where you are in your art journey, whether you are a beginner and just want to know where to start, or whether you have been painting and drawing for years and years and want to switch things up or refresh or try things in a different way. There's definitely like a workshop that you'll get benefit from. What I found is that I enjoyed both. I enjoyed doing workshops that were more aligned to what I normally do, for example like Uma's workshop with gouache, and also doing something that's completely different and more playful like Maru's workshop, and everything in between. I now started looking at everyone's like, oh my gosh, I should attend this next time. The whole thing was just really inspiring. And then from there we headed back to the hub, and there was an auction where you could volunteer your art and people bid on it. And here are some of the amazing artwork that was up for bid, and I threw my hat in the ring because I hope that someone would enjoy it. And would you believe that it sold? This wonderful woman bought my painting, and I was absolutely over the moon and so grateful. And my painting now has a forever home. All these wonderful pieces of art that were being up for auction. And following that, there was also sketchbook tours where everyone, myself included, just put out our sketchbooks on tables for people to look through. And I loved this. I already love looking through people's sketchbooks, so you can imagine this in like a big scale. The one thing I wish is that I knew whose sketchbooks I was looking through. Some of them, like Santi, I knew. When you look at the sketchbook and you look at the art, you know who it is. But then there were so many pieces of art, or so many wonderful sketchbooks where I have no idea who the artist is, and I couldn't tell them how much I love their art, and I wish I could have done. But I did get a few clips so that if you enjoy looking through sketchbooks as much as I do, you can get a sneak peek.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane, and as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy we go, easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb. Oh, dreamy, breezy we go, easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all. A bigger scale the world inhales as we go. I wouldn't want it any other way, no. Dream.
And then we have the artwork of some of the anonymous artists that I really loved your sketchbooks, but I have no idea who you are, so I named you Anon 1, 2, and 3. There was so many more, but I thought that I would include these. And if you happen to be watching this video, let us know. Say I am Anon whatever number and your social media or Instagram, and then we can find you. I did tell you that some of my favorite parts were going to be at the end, right? And you're probably thinking, we've already had amazing workshops, we've had drink and draws, we've had fun, how could it get any better? Well, because you're a real MVP, because you're watching this far into the video, I'll show you some of the really fun clips of the after party, if you will. But if you're still watching, let me know that you are a real MVP by saying urban sketching in, and then fill in a city where you would recommend that we go urban sketching, because now I think I've caught the bug and I look forward to traveling the world and urban sketching as I do. Now, the after party is that we went for a dinner, and then after the dinner, we stumbled upon a random concert and kind of did a bit of sketching and chatting there too. And then from there, we went to a cafe where Maru had this genius idea of us sketching for, I want to say like 10 seconds. Like it was super quick. Like you'd sketch the person in front of you for 10 seconds and then they move on to the next and to the next and to the next and to the next. It was as hard and chaotic and fun as it sounds. The results, completely hilarious, but also actually some of them were pretty good. And it just means that everyone's artwork is a collaborative piece and that everyone's portrait has been sketched by 5 people across who only had 10 seconds each to put it all together. These were the portraits that were done of me. Of me, incredibly humbling. I must say, I feel like we captured the likeness of the men better than the ones of the women. But it was honestly such a fun night and the perfect way to end the symposium. I hope that you go out there, have fun, and you sketch. If you enjoyed this video, then you'll definitely love the video where I share my experience in Poznan and also Bologna, because there are so many events like this that are just so incredible, and hopefully quite a few of them will also be close to you. And if you want to spend more time together, then join my membership, which I will leave linked for you. A special thank you to the organizers of this symposium, who are all volunteers and just did an absolutely incredible job. Thank you all so much for watching. God bless and goodbye.